Всем привет! И сегодня буду проходить задание легенд, встреча с Горо. Ну а потом с этими женщинами. Остался совсем чуть, и потом буду проходить задание архонтов. Так что скоро встречу закончим. Так. Так. А, я же куда? Так, и где она? Ага, тут. Почему тут? Разве я не там должна быть, что ли? Не понял.
I really can't recommend that store highly enough. A couple more visits and you'll find that the fur on your tail is silky. A gorgeous tail like yours deserves lots of tender, loving care.
No need. I'm not interested in that kind of thing.
You say that, but do I see your ears saying otherwise? Although your tail isn't professionally maintained, the fur doesn't look dry and coarse. To me, this says I'm also guessing that you like to curl up into a fetal position and hug your fluffy tail.
How do you know? Don't be ridiculous. I'm a high-ranking general of what?
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to be embarrassed. The desire to...
Really? Wait, no. Why are we still on this topic? In fact, why am I even here talking about tails with you?
Why? Because you are blessed with a wonderful...
Ugh, I'm trapped. How do I get out of this? It's you! Oh, thank goodness. Please save me.
Oh, and how is my favorite little one doing? I didn't expect to meet you here. We were just talking about... Goro has a beautiful tail, don't you think? Doesn't it make you want to stroke it? Don't be nervous.
He's not going to fall for it. We've fought side by side.
Pardon me. Lady Gucci, we have completed the matter you instruct. We have selected a very skilled artist to be in charge.
I'll take a look later, and if everything's in order, all right. I won't tease the... Do make the most of your trip here, won't you? I wish you both a fun...
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked at me in the end there. Sorry that you had to see that. The real reason I'm here at Yae Publishing House is to buy some books for Her Excellency.
Это как в том ивенте, да.
Since Watatsumi Island signed a peace treaty with the shogunate, we've had much closer contact. I also wanted to come and see what things are like in an area ruled by the shogunate. I hadn't counted on running into... I've interacted with her a few times before, but I've never been good at dealing with people like her. The way she towers over me and speaks so... I could probably deal with her in battle, but I don't know where to start when I run into her in normal life. I guess this is a weakness of mine. Really? That would be great. To be honest, this is something that's always worried me. If the soldiers ever saw me in this kind of so I have to overcome it. As soon as I've worked through this, let's go take on Yae Miko again. First things first, though. I see. So if you pretend to be someone like her, I can keep track. If I can get the better of you, then I'll be able to hold my own when similar situations come up in the future. Good plan. Let's see. Where should we start? Now that you mention it, I remember having a similar experience. I was with my subordinates at the time. We ran into a merchant, I got caught up talking to them, and I don't quite know what happened, but I ended up... I think we can give it a try. There's an island called Rito nearby. Why don't we go there? I heard all the Outlander merchants are based there, so it might help to create the right atmosphere. So this is Rito. Although it looks slightly gloomy, it feels very peaceful here. I don't see... Okay, let's get started. I'll be me, and you be a shrewd and savvy businesswoman. Hi. Hi. So, a lot of the soldiers have been complaining about a shortage of blankets recently. So, 10 blankets, please? Okay, I'll settle the check right away. The price seems pretty cheap to me, in which case, no need to haggle, right? I think that's still not too bad. I'm sorry. In the past, Her Excellency has always handled procurement of military supplies. I don't know the specific prices of these items, so I never really... This won't get us anywhere. I have to haggle to give you the chance to use your wily tricks on me. Something I'm more interested in? Maybe, cake?
Закусал.
That's so expensive. I know what a fair price is when it comes to cake. Wait a sec. If you think about this from another angle, a cake that costs 100,000 more per slice must be so much better than a regular cake.
Ой, блин. Логический бит.
Let me see. I've been saving up recently. I think I should have enough. So, there isn't really a kind of cake that costs 100,000 more per slice? What a shame. I feel like role-playing as a vendor is a little outside our area of expertise. What kind of person do we both see regularly enough to impersonate convincingly? Fatui? Then it looks like a trip into the wild is in order. Let's go give it a try.
А кто будет? Ну, Егор будет. Кто? Кто-то... что, рандомный, что ли, или что? Я не пойму. Из знакомых у меня только этот есть. В портале... Кто еще будет? Ну, там эти обычные банковские эти, там просто ящик. Ну, сеньора нету, по-моему, хотя, по крайней мере, может быть. А кто еще может быть? Я не знаю. Какой... рандомный. Я думал, какой-то знакомый.
I've dealt with Fatui before, but I always end up against those big, stocky guys who are... I'm sure I must train just as hard as they do every day, but somehow, I still don't have the muscles to show for it. Maybe I'll start to see the results in a few more years. Really? That's very kind. But still, I think that I should aim to look more muscular. I know that people's trust in me has nothing to do with my size, but if I were taller and bulkier, they'd be able to identify me from behind more. That way, our forces wouldn't scatter so easily. As long as I was on the field, they'd be able to... But enough of that. Let's get back to it. Who are you going to roleplay as this time?
Блин.
What? I smell danger! Really? Huh. For a moment there, I could have sworn the actual No, wait! Behind you! It wasn't my imagination! They really are!
Кто? Где?
There you are, eavesdropper.
До свидания. 8-й уровень, серьезно? Боевой электронный. Ну да, тут поддержка, блин. До свидания. Я не понял.
Blink! Let me amuse myself a little. Blink! Shine. No one. Right here, right now. You can't run!
Нет.
Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun.
Ой, не то.
I can't run. Miscalculated.
It's all fun and games until the real Fatui show up, huh? That little interruption has really ruined the mood for me. Let's not do any more Fatui. It seems in poor taste after the trouble they caused in Watatsumi Island anyway. Do we have any other options? What do you mean? Isn't this moving a little too fast? Her Excellency advocates slow and steady progress in all things, and cautions against trying to advance too quickly. To clarify, it's not that I'm scared. It's just that I don't know if the time is right. I guess you're right. Thanks for your encouragement. Let's do it! Time for a make-or-break training exercise.
Точки. Точки в жопке.
And we're back.
Нет.
Don't worry, my head's in the game this time.
Да-да.
I am a high-ranking military officer of Watatsumi Island and the general of the resistance. Whatever tricks you've got up your sleeve, you're not going to get, so bring it on! This feels like... Yes, it definitely feels... no. It's not that you do a bad impression of her. More like... I finally realized it when you were talking to me just now. I think that maybe what I'm really afraid... It just makes me feel like all my secrets have nowhere to hide. Like she can just peer in and see them. But it's different with you. Even when you're imitating the way she speaks, I don't feel afraid. Because we fought side by side in the past and... But it also means that this training... I just have to accept that this is a weakness of mine. The thought of having to live with this weakness forever is frustrating. Are you serious? I love that. I haven't eaten anything sweet in a long time. Off we go. Let's go buy some cake.
И пофиг то, что ты как бы на полу животное, на полу это... И животным полке нельзя сладкость.
The next step is to find somewhere nice and quiet.
Хотя в основном как человек, так что еще пофиг. Если посмотреть, он все равно как человек ходит, а не как полуживотное. Что, в принципе, да, можно.
This is so good. It's certainly a rarity. It's seen as a luxury item in the ranks of the resistance. We have special meals on occasion, but even then, it usually means meat and wine. So, thank you for treating. The only downside with Narukami Island's pastries is that they're such exquisite things, you can't just chow down on them.
Особенно если надо сладкое.
But, as Her Excellency says, a general needs to show patience and restraint. Wow, don't mind...
Первая концовка. Окей. Так, и сколько мы откроем? Ого-го-го-го. Хорошо. Так, и откуда мы начинаем? С самого начала. Подожди, с самого начала. Подожди. Ладно. Не понял.
There was definitely something strange about the way she... Sorry that you had to... Since Watatsumi Island, I also wanted to come and see what things are like in an area... I've never been good at... I could probably deal... You're... Really? In that case, I still have some business to take care of with the... They run a monthly magazine called That's Life, which has an advice column. Readers write... I'm not quite sure why they chose me, but... It's my job now. Yae Miko just handed me the latest batch of readers' letters. Let's find a place to write the replies, then pack them up and send them...
Спокойно, конечно. Спокойно.
Huh. This place looks nice. Why don't we write the replies here? The sooner I get them finished and handed back to the publisher, I just hope I don't have another run-in with, you-know-who. Anyway, the writing could take me some time. The questions I receive are often so strange. Great. Let's write the replies together. I'm actually interested. Let me see here. Today, a new guy came to our village. He was good-looking and had a lovely voice. When I peeked at him from behind the door, I felt my cheeks getting hotter, and my heart started beating fast. See, I can tell right away that this is exactly the kind of question I'm no good at dealing with. The letter seems to be from a young lady. What's your take? Well, I don't know what it's like to be in love, but I'll reply like this then. It's likely that the feelings you're experiencing right now won't occur many times in your life. I urge you to summon the courage to seize this opportunity. What? Really? But that's how it is in battle, too. Opportunities to... I imagine it's the same in love? That's my suggestion, anyway. My neighbor is always borrowing money from me, but never seems to be able to pay me back on time. I have tried subtly raising the issue in conversation several times. He was kind to me when I was young. I don't want to make things ugly, but the money issue bothers me a lot. Please help me. If this is a dispute between neighbors, it must be settled as soon as possible. The most important thing in military regulations is fairness. It is only right to pay back a debt. I want to suggest that the writer demands their money back in no uncertain terms. Do you think that makes sense? That makes sense too. Giving the neighbor an ultimatum would likely... But the letter also makes it clear that no matter how many hints the writer gives him, in that case, how about we reply like, why not ask to borrow some money from your neighbor? Any sum he agrees to lend you can be used to offset the amount he owes. Even if he refuses to lend to you, at least by asking to borrow from him, you are sending him the message that your own financial position... I don't know. But it's worth a try. The most important thing is to muster the courage to resist. And we're done with that letter. The next one seems long. Hello, I was born on Narukami Island, and now I'm a soldier in... So, this is from one of my troops? Most likely. Before passing any reader's letters on to me, Yae Publishing House has their staff copy each one by hand and redact, so I can't be sure who exactly this is. I couldn't turn a blind eye to the Vision Hunt decree, and my anger drove me to join the resistance. My comrades and I have fought side by side, and since we achieved our goal and the war came to an end, I have remained on Watatsumi Island. But this is not my hometown, and I often find I now don't know whether to stay here or return home. The resistance has treated me well, and I've long been disillusioned by the shogunate. But how should I reply to him? Let me think about it. To be blunt, I obviously don't want any soldiers under my command but if making them stay causes them pain, I suppose I'll reply... That should do it. I'll be okay. Come on. Thanks to you, writing the responses went very smoothly this time. Great. That's all the... thank you for all your hard work, Mr. Goro. Think nothing of it. I agreed to help, so it's only right that I do the... Could I trouble you to come back to Wata? I want to find that soldier. Not to persuade them to stay, I don't want them to leave without saying goodbye. Kazuha once told me that the bonds between people whose paths have crossed can never be broken, even after they part ways.
Ну да.
But maybe I'm scared he might be wrong. People can change quickly, and I worry that the next time I meet my comrade, who fought so bravely alongside me, there will already be some distance between. Great! Then let's head off whenever you're...
Мгм. Давай отсюда. Снизу. Наверное, снизу же. Футуи, футуи. Дерьме. Это же снизу, да, это снизу. Здорово.
General Goro. And Captain of Swordfish too. General Captain.
Not this time. I just thought I'd come by to catch up while everyone has...
Certainly, General Goro. Anything you want to discuss, we'll share whatever we know. But we haven't been out of the camp lately, so we don't have a whole lot of interesting stories.
Actually, I've had something on my mind, and you see, after the war, Her Excellency streamlined the army, and a lot of people... Do you still have much contact with each other?
To be honest, we're so busy even with just training and patrolling that it's only... We have holidays, but we usually use them to go home and spend time with our nearest and dearest, and besides...
Yeah, I'm busy when they're free, and they're busy when I'm free. Anyway, even if we did manage to meet up, what then? We all do different jobs now, and we all have new friends who...
So that's really how it goes, huh? I know. It's okay.
You know, having said all that, there's something else that I've always...
Really?
Yes. I feel that no matter how long we're apart, and no matter what we might go through in the meantime, even if we've all changed beyond recognition, we can always trust that
We're your troops, General Goro. You trained us, you took us into battle, and led the... Even if we seldom keep in contact now, we are still brothers in arms. If you say the... Long live the
Yes. That's the way it should be. Long... I won't disturb you any further. You guys keep training hard.
Ah, General Goru, you're here. I believe Hiroaki's been hoping to catch you. He's been waiting at the camp for a long time. Are you planning to head back to camp later? If you're busy, I can go and let him know so he's not waiting there in vain.
Tell him I'll be right over. I know what I have to do now.
Пошли.
Denjiro is right. No matter what changes the future may bring, we will always have each other's backs. Sure, there may be some awkward silences when we meet again after a long time, but in no time at all, we'd be the best of friends again.
General Goro, I would like to request permission to leave the Resistance, sir. I know this may seem very abrupt, and in fact, I've only just made...
It's all right.
Back then, I had so much hatred for the Vision Hunt decree, and so much disappointment in Narukami Island for supporting it. Thanks to Miss Hina's encouragement, I was finally able to find the courage to talk to you about it. Of course, if you disapprove, I'll obey your orders. I am your subordinate, after all.
Miss Hina? Who's that?
It's,
Forget it. Never mind her.
General Goro.
Блять, аж густо. Ах.
Come on. Don't look so down. It's not like we're never going. If you ever have the time, you should come back and visit Watatsumi Island. There's no matter where we are, we will always be comrades.
Yes, General. I'll take my leave then.
Take care. That was okay. Or should I say, it was for the best. This is how it should be. It should lead.
Концовка. Концовка. Оба. Так, следующая концовка у нас. Так, откроется следующее. Ну, как обычно, открываем следующую. Так. И теперь мне просто надо отойти, да? Или что-то другое сделать. Вот отойти. Ну, к этому, не к этому, что там. Как это называется? Загрузка, как всегда, отлично. Ну, это мы скипаем.
Why don't we write the replies? I just hope I don't. Anyway. You want to scout ahead? Yeah, that works. This way, if Yae Miko's lying in wait for me, but stay sharp, okay? She is a force to be reckoned with. If you spot her, get yourselves back here right away. I mean, well.
All right, everyone, settle down. We are gathered here today, united by a common purpose. Now, who can tell me?
Well, of course, it's to tell the whole world about how wonderful Miss Hina
and excellent at how gentle she is, how understanding she is, how delightful. We can all testify to the great joy that Miss Hina has brought to our lives. But my friends, there are so many we can help by spreading the good news about Miss Hina to every soul.
My friend, do you have a moment to talk about Miss Hina? Friends, I found one! Someone needs our help!
Shh, calm your voice down. We don't want to... Hello, my friend. On this joyous day, we would like to open our hearts to you and tell she is gentle, kind, understanding. She is the brightest star in our...
So? What do you think?
Oh, my apologies. In my excitement, I forgot to give you all the details. Have you ever come across a magazine called That's Life? It's a monthly magazine featuring, amongst other things, an advice column. We were among the first readers to send in letters seeking advice. Although the editor chose to conceal her name, gender, and other details, we all see her as an emphatic older sister.
Oh, there's no mistaking it. Just from her letters, I can feel that she's so considerate. She can always sense our true emotions from our letters and never fail, except when it comes to the topic of romantic love. She's clearly not an expert there. But even then, that just makes her all the more endearing to us.
Recently, the column went through a low period where it just wasn't popular. Unfortunately, Yae Publishing House made the decision to publicize her image. And then the column finally...
That's right! Miss Hina is the person in charge of That's Life magazines and so, when we heard that Yae Publishing House would be revealing the official likeness of Miss Hina today, we immediately came and to witness this grand moment in history! Please, gaze upon the radiant beauty of...
Давайте. Где? Блин. Горо. Ты у нас Хина.
Oh, hey, there you are. Is, you know who at Yae Publishing House? Whew, that's good. I just finished writing my replies, so I was about to head to Yai Publishing House and hand them in. Why? I guess it's because I can help people this way. Also, the editor said to me, this is something that only you... They made quite a solemn request when they first approached me, so I felt like I couldn't refuse it. But once I'd settled into it, I found myself real... Before I knew it, I had written hundreds of replies, and sometimes they'd respond again just to thank me. It made me so happy whenever they'd every time I think about that terrifying woman, I feel like I want nothing to do with Yai Publishing House. But then, by this point, I'm so used to it that I'd probably find it hard to adjust if I ever gave it up. Well, I don't quite know what's going on, but I'd like to get these letters. I'm really looking forward to the readers' reactions when they receive my letters. In the army, people are always little, but those obstacles are removed when you're communicating via letters. Everyone who writes seems to so I'm not about to let them down. Let's head up. But Yai Publishing House isn't far. Besides, this way, if, you know...
Ой, блин. Что, до сих пор там стоят?
Strange. I don't come here often. Is it like this most of the time? Hey, there seems to be some commotion over there.
Allow me to reiterate, my friends. We in the Miss Hina fan club must abide. Firstly, we mustn't try and probe into Miss Hina's true identity. We of all people. Secondly, fans of Miss Hina are not to make any controversial statements when representing the fan club. Thirdly, while our mission is to promote Miss Hina in every way possible, if someone we're talking to says they're not interested, And finally, we are here today because Miss Hina has brought us together. But yes, we can!
Always make her proud and never...
Oh, so this is what they call I don't know whose fan club it is, but they are raring to go. Reminds me of the rallying speeches we used to give before going into battle. Something's up, isn't it? Did something happen? It's not her, is it?
Excuse me, friend. Something about you looks awfully similar to Miss Hina. I see. Well, one way or another,
sorry, I'm not...
Well, now's as good a time as any for you. Miss Hina is gentle, kind, and considerate. You can tell her
Oh, well, she sounds like a very... She must be the polar opposite of Yai Miko, right?
Давай хе-хе.
Who's the spitting image of Miss Hina?
Shh! Have you forgotten? We may not pry into...
At least let's take a photo with him.
Friend, may we... We borrowed a camera specifically to witness the official
Sure. Why do they want to take a picture with me? All right, sure. That should do it. Right, I should really be heading to the Yai Publish...
Make way, everyone. Make way. The Miss Hina billboard is here. Please, make some space.
Hey, everybody! It's Miss Hina! Miss Hina!
Now I'm curious, too. Let's go over and take a look.
Не надо.
Huh? Why? What's the problem? Really? As curious as I am to see what all the fuss is about, it'll have to wait until next time. So, please...
Это... О, серьезно? Ёбаный. Концовка. Так, осталось 2 концовки, отлично. Так. А не 2 сразу с это... Блин, а мне как-то... По логике мне надо сверху начать, потом с другим. Если я не ошибаюсь.
There was definitely something. Sorry that you had to see. Since Watatsumi, I also wanted to come and see what things are. I've never been good. I could probably deal.
Припожи. А, давай так.
Really? To be
Ну, там
honest,
же есть
so
изменения.
as soon as I've worked through first good plan. Start by studying some theory, address the fear at its root, and then I'll have but where would I go to learn about this? I wouldn't know anyone on
А как другую концовку делать, я тогда уж знаю. Либо через верх, либо через низ. Ты, скорее всего, через верх, потому что через низ мы уже это сделали сейчас. Хотя хрен его знает, что там. Ну, увидим, узнаем. Пока что я не знаю даже, где эта последняя концовка будет у меня.
Whew. I feel more. I had an idea on the way here. Many of my army comrades are older than me, and I'm sure that handling this kind of situation, I can't just go to them and say, hey, I'm no good at this.
I see. So, you're saying that you're... your friend.
Yes. So, I'm here on my friend's behalf.
Based on my experience, the easiest way to deal with people like that is just go through the motion. Well, you see, General Goru, General Goro's friend, I mean, always listens intently when other people are, no matter who the other person is. General Goro's friend treats them all equally. But the other side of the coin is that it makes General Goro's friend very susceptible to... if something like that is bothering you, your best bet is simply to not give the other party your full, undivided attention. Don't hang on their every word, and when they ask a difficult question...
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Well, it's something to try. Whether going through the motions is a skill that everyone has to get the hang of as they get older, I'm guessing...
Well, on my friend's behalf, thank you for your...
don't mention it. Oh, yes, I heard that Miwa from Sangonomiya Shrine is all... She's supposed to be good with interpersonal stuff.
Makes sense. All right.
Погнали. А, я понял.
Most people who wish to have an audience with Her Excellency usually start by presenting their name cards and official documents to Miwa, who then passes them along. So I'm sure Miwa has lots of experience dealing with all kinds of...
General Goro, and the captain of Swordfish too. What are you doing?
We wanted to ask you about...
I see. So General Goro's friend wants to
that's right. Do you have...
My advice would be to hide what you are really thinking. Cast your minds back. Why do you think Yae Miko was able to tease General Goro's friend? And not it's because she always has that same smile on her face. So no one ever knows what she's really thinking. If General Goro's friend wants to go head-on with her, he must at least learn to do as she does. To conceal...
You make so much sense. So what you're saying is...
Exactly. Many things look complicated on the surface, but often, all it comes down...
Wonderful! You have my I'm sure with your approach, that friend of mine will...
Then I wish General Goro's friend...
Well, I'm slowly starting to gain Oh! I suddenly remembered. Her Excellency updated... Who knows? There may be some useful suggestions in there too. Let's go take a look. Just to be thorough. Her Excellency handed me the general operational directives in 3 parts, and I think this is where I placed them.
Да блин, не успею дочитывать. Ну ё-моё, Горо, ёп. Как быстро читаешь. Ой, говоришь.
Let's see. Deployment and mobilization, logistics. Aha! How to avoid awkward social situations. Well, that's Her Excellency for you. She thinks socializing is as important as a decisive battle. Know yourself and your enemy to succeed. Boy, if even Her Excellency treats this so seriously, what I take from this is it's not enough just to learn some general countermeasures. We need specific knowledge of Yae Miko's individual weaknesses to achieve But how do we figure her out? Yae Publishing House. Since she goes there often, perhaps we can find some telling... Let's go and invest...
Блин, только там, блин, ой, моё. Вот только оттуда. Туда-сюда, туда-сюда, туда-сюда. Созвездие, созвездие.
Ah, greetings. Here to buy some books? I must say that Lady Guji has a key. Apparently, the rumor goes that if you can impress Lady Guji with your writing, you're just one small step away from becoming the next. Yes. Well, first we screen all manuscripts, filter out the bad ones, and write.
So, you have close dealings with Guji Yae. What sort of person?
Well, for starters, she's a very busy person. Whenever she visits the Yai Publishing House, still, she seems very invested in Yai Publishing House. And on occasion, she'll share some of her promotion. Take That's Life magazine, for example. When we first started running it, sales were very poor. The return was barely covered, but the fans weren't happy about the prospect of their favorite magazine being discontinued. They kept writing in, begging us to keep it going. Next thing you know, sales are through the roof.
That's Life? Wait, isn't that... Nothing. It just reminded me of... I didn't realize Yae Miko personally handled the marketing for Yae Publishing House. Anyway, thank you very much. Is there anything more?
No, that's all. Look, I'm not sure what your plan is here, but just my opinion. But she's the most mysterious person I've ever met.
You think she's mysterious too? I guess we... Actually, you said that this batch of light novels was... Maybe we could take a brief look. Perhaps we can get some...
Sure. If you're interested, I recommend this book. The protagonist doesn't have any particularly exciting abilities, but never fails to defeat strong...
Cunning strategies. In that sense, it's...
Oh, there's an iconic line in this book that people quite like. One who relinquishes nothing also gains nothing. If you want to win when you're...
Thank you for the... Well, one more string to our strategic bow. It's time to put these theories to the test. Let's go to...
Аж в логово. Хо-хо-хо. Давай. В логово.
So this is the Grand Narukami
Hello there. You look like you have something weighing on your mind. The Grand Narukami Shrine's fortune slips have always...
I've heard that the generals of the past used to employ all sorts of divination techniques to find out their... I'm not in the habit of it, but since the let's draw one together. Let's see what we've drawn. Good fortune. Not bad. At least it's something. It means that our training must have been effective.
Вызвать. Серьезно? И как же я вызову?
Any second now, we'll be face to face with her. Don't worry. All our hard work is... She can forget about teasing me this time.
You arrived a little later than expected. Did you run into some... But of course.
So what if you knew we were coming? This time, we won't get...
Slow down. No, in the past, I used to have many believers coming to see me at the shrine every day, especially those who came in pairs. 9 times out of 10, they were here If you're interested, I'd be quite happy to do a...
Together for a lifetime? Remember what Shuhei said? We mustn't pay too much, otherwise we may be fooled by her cunning word.
Now that I think about it, perhaps I never needed to You can just leave all your fur grooming to your little friend here. Imagine him holding your tail in one hand, combing it gently.
Uh-oh, not good. My mind is already full of mental images. I'll have to resort to the method Miwa taught us.
By the way, there's really no point in trying to. You might be able to remain stony-faced if you really try, but with your tail swishing behind you, it tells.
What?
Then again, you know what? Most people only pay attention to your tail, but those soft, pointy ears are really just as fascinating.
There's only one method left. A cunning strategy. This is going to hurt me almost as much as it hurts my opponent. But there's no... I think the real reason you know me so well is that you're just like me. Just like me, you hug your tail when you go to sleep. And just like me, you daydream about someone else grooming your tail for you.
I see. You decided to admit your feelings in an effort to bring me down with. Not bad. I suppose this is a step forward for you. But I'm afraid I don't have a tail at all.
No! Retreat! Retreat! Fighting on is futile. Better to conserve resources for the next confrontation. When I get back, I'm going to train harder than I've ever trained before.
Bye-bye now. Come again.
Да, на следующее вступление. Никак нет, хоть это.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems.
Наверх или вниз? Блин, я не знаю, что нужно. Скорее всего, вниз и что-то еще.
There was definitely some. Sorry that you had to. Since Watatsumi, I also wanted to come and see what things are like. I've never been good at. I could probably deal. Really? To be honest, so as soon as I've worked through. First. I see. If I can get the good plan. Let's see. Now, I was with my subordinates at the time. I think we can give it a. I heard all the.
Так, это не то. Это уже идет один. Давай сверху.
There was definitely something. Sorry that you had to. Since Watatsumi, I also wanted to come and see what things are. I've never been good. I could probably You're... Okay, whatever you think's. Actually, there's something else I have to sort out. Back when we were fighting the Shogun's army at Nazuchi Beach, I had a box with me. The odds were stacked against us that day, and the resistance was forced to retreat. I went back to collect it on this trip, but it turned out someone had already dug it up. So I asked around the area, and the locals said that that box is very important to me. I have to get it back from the Adventurers Guild. Would you mind coming over? Thank you so much. Let's head right over.
Ну это уже точно другая концовка, да? Да, это все. Привет.
I'm afraid that will be a little... Don't worry. The item you are looking for is safe and sound. The reason being, it is connected to a case involving the treasure hoard.
That's strange. I buried that box there.
Allow me to explain. Not long ago, the adventurer who accepted the commission followed their trail and heard that they had been... But when we went to dig up the stolen items, we found many other things buried there along with them. As such, for now, all we can do is hold all related items at the Adventurers Guild until such a time as we have caught the group of treasure hoarders.
I see. I never expected that other... Well, since these are the rules, I won't press you for it. But...
This is where the difficulty arises. To date, we have still not been able to locate the hut.
So there's no knowing when this will be resolved. Maybe I could help. I could find the treasure hoarders for you, and once you confirm everything is in order, you'll be able to return my... It's very important to me, so the sooner I get it back, the better.
That is... However, many adventurers have investigated this case recently. They have... If the two of you are still interested in taking the case, you may have to devise an original...
Yes, it seems like the only sensible place to start. With any luck, we might be able to find some clues there. Well, actually, since it's come up, what's the Komori tea house like? Hot pot? So they call it a tea house despite the fact that it is obviously a hot pot restaurant? Anyway...
Are you here to investigate the recent theft as well? We're grateful for the assistance. However, it was Tarumaru's #2 reserve fund that they stole. They struck late at night while there was no one by the time we realized. They left enough clues for us to retrieve the box, but we found no trace of the group of treasure hoarders who dared. I've asked around many times, and there were... Oh, Tarumaru! How strange.
He says he knows where the treasure hoarders are hiding. How can I describe it? It's like listening to a regional dialect. A lot of it goes over my head, but I can still get the general... Anyway, he says he was there at the scene of the crime. The treasure hoarders didn't see Tarumaru as a threat, so he stayed and listened. Since there were so many of them and they were armed, Tarumaru didn't dare to bark loudly, so he just had to let them go.
Oh, no wonder. Poor boy. He's been acting more anxious than usual lately, and is always looking outside. And I thought...
Yes, that... Okay, I think I understand now. Tarumaru says he heard the treasure hoarders conspiring to hide out at the beach directly below. No one usually thinks to look there, and it's become something of a safe haven for... He also mentioned that there were a gang of 5 people. The leader's name is Kosuke, and the second in command is called Yasuhisa. The leader's scent indicated he was probably from the Narukami Island area, while the 2 newcomers in the team were more like... Thank you, Tarumaru. It must have been hard for you, knowing the details of the crime but not being able to communicate them. Don't you worry. We'll take care of everything from here. We will... Let's go there in person. We might not have any troops with us, but between the 2 of us...
Куда? Ну, идем туда.
I think we're getting close. There's danger in the air. And something doesn't smell right. Be careful.
Арабата. Идем.
Right here.
There's no end to this.
Пока.
The wrong test subject. This is bizarre. How would anyone think to look here?
Boss, didn't you say that the most dangerous place is the safest place to hide?
Yeah, and I still maintain that I'm right in principle. Can't believe we got caught. Just when the whole thing had nearly blown over. Hey, kid! Who the heck are you guys anyway?
We shouldn't waste any more time on these people. Life is tough in the Resistance, but none of our troops would ever think about laying a hand on the innocent civilians under their rule. You have things so much better here. We should turn them over to the Adventurers Guild right away. Once their identities are confirmed, they'll get the punishment they deserve.
Please, show a little mercy. We'll give you half of everything we've saved up over the years. If you're willing to turn a blind eye on this.
That's enough! Tie them up and take them away. Oh, come to think of it, this is not, but thieves still have to be punished.
Ну чё вот не нажимается? Я же нажимаю. Я же нажимаю на тебя. Чё ты не нажимаешь? Привет.
I'm pleased to confirm that these are indeed the I didn't expect you to catch them so quickly. As in accordance with the rules, now that we have procured an oral confession from the treasure hoarders, and they're here, please.
Thank goodness. Well, let me think. The contents of the box. So, let's head.
Ты даешь. А если это не так? Я не удивлюсь, если это не так.
One, two, three. Some personal items that once belonged to the troops under water bottles, towels, knee guards. Just everyday items, but each one, we all knew going into that battle that the odds of survival were slim. Many of the soldiers came to me and said they wanted to leave something behind as a key. You see, their swords and polearms broke in battle. Their damaged armor wouldn't have been easy to carry, and many of them couldn't write very well. In the end, all they could leave to their families were these ordinary items, artifacts of their daily life. My soldiers trusted me, but I failed to lead them, and they trusted me with these. And instead of honoring their last wishes right away, I had to hastily. Every time something like this happens, I tell myself that by the next time I'm faced with the same situation, yeah. But right now,
это все. Ну чё, Горо мы закончили. Остался Юдзин и Нингуа. Так что до скорых встреч. Пока-пока.